between the Washington Huskies and the Trojans of Southern California. The Huskies come into the Coliseum this afternoon ranked 21st in the nation. A 4-1 record in the conference and still hoping for a co-championship. This game is huge for Washington and Southern California as the Trojans come on the field. A talented bunch, good size, great potential, and trying to run the table the rest of the way and into a major bowl game. Take a look at the Pac-10 standings. The Huskies 4-1. Arizona State still in control, almost certainly headed to the Rose Bowl with the possibility of a national championship still very much a reality. So this game then becomes huge when you think of second place and the next best major bowl game. And hi, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt along with Gary Reasons. Glad to have you along in what we think should be an interesting game. Boy, you come into this place, Gary, you think of all the great tailbacks that have played here. You think of SC, and they're loaded with tailbacks again. And yet the leader in the conference comes from Washington. That, of course, Corey Dillon.
It is a little ironic, Timmy, that Washington has the best tailback in the conference. Corey Dillon has had a tremendous year. He's only started 5 ball games, but what he has done has been really spectacular. Actually, the last week he had rushing for a total of 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. And 2 weeks ago, he rushed for 5 touchdowns against UCLA. He's a big, strong tailback and a guy that I tell you, USC defense has to do a very good job on him today to slow these guys down.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned the SC defense. It is a defense that is just laced with talent, and yet right square in the middle of it. The middle linebacker is a true freshman playing high school ball this time last year.
I tell you, John Robinson found a dime in the rough here in his own backyard from North Riverside High School. Chris Claiborne is a good linebacker. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of ability. He leads his Trojan defense in tackles, has a couple of interceptions, but he's going to have to come up big to stop a big running back from Washington.
If you think about these two teams and the games they have played over the last 35 years, so many of them, I think it's 22, have been decided by 12 points or less, including last year's 21-21 tie. Let me take you back in history to last year. This game's so important. These two clubs met. It was an incredible game. October 28th, Washington scored 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns. This one by Leon Neal from 46 yards out. It made it 21-0 Huskies going into the 4th quarter. The men of Troy responded. 3 touchdowns. This score coming up by Terry Barnum. 16 yards on the swing pass. Made it 21-14. And then with 33 seconds remaining, Brad Otten to Johnny McWilliams on the 2-yard pass. Adam Renton's PAT tied it. And USC goes on to the Rose Bowl. It was John Robinson who opted for 1 instead of going for 2 for the tie and the Rose Bowl. Take a look at the schedules. We'll show you what these two clubs have done this year. Of course, the championship game could have been played right there in the very first week. Arizona State and Washington.
They certainly could have, Timmy. I tell you, Arizona State is on a roll this year at 8-0. They certainly have their own destiny mapped out pretty well for them. They can win this whole conference and possibly a national title. But for Washington, they still have an opportunity. They're going to play here, they think, for possibly a co-championship if Arizona State stumbles along the way. And for USC, I tell you, Timmy, it's one of those things about it where they're playing to win an opportunity to play in perhaps the number 2 bowl bid out of the Pac-10 this year, and it's just going to be one of those games where the winner of this game possibly has the upper hand in that second bowl berth.
All right, the forecasters tell us we should have sunshine most of the afternoon, and working with us on the field today is Todd Donahoe. Todd?
And Washington, as you said, wants to run the football, and so does USC. Their passing game has not clicked this year, so it's back to tailback you. Pitch the body, pitch the football to the right, pitch the ball to the left, student body right, student body left. Now, I talked with Charles White, their former Heisman Trophy winner, now the running backs coach. He says the turf is in tremendous condition. It's like the fairways at Augusta, and he just wants to knock some people off the line of scrimmage today and run the football. So it sounds like smash-mouth football to me. Tim and Gary?
All right, thank you. Washington won the toss. Washington will receive the opening kickoff. So kicking off for USC is David Bell. He's been effective. 28 kickoffs, 8 have gone out of the end zone. Jerome Pathon is deep. This is a pooch kick. And it is Cam Kissel. The ball will be set at the 37-yard line. So that's where we will start things off. USC and Washington this afternoon. It should be exciting. Quarterback Brock Hurd was almost perfect last week. This is what he's done for the season. He's a redshirt freshman left-hander, and yes, he is Damon Huard's brother. The Chili starting lineups, Washington backs and receivers. Corey Dillon he's big, 6'2", 225, fast, explosive. He'll bull by you, then blow by you. Pathon is the leading receiver. First down. Straight ahead goes Dillon to the 39-yard line. Washington's offensive line has allowed only 14 sacks this year, Gary.
Well, I tell you, this is a good offensive line. They're big, they're strong. Aaron Donald is having to step up now to play offensive tackle. It's his first start this year. Lynn Johnson has have to move over to guard because Cadlitz is out. This group is going to come up big today if they're going to run the ball against this Trojan defense.
SC's defense just laced with big-time talent. We'll take a look at that talent in just a second. Meanwhile, it's second down and 8. Brock Huard, the quarterback. Dillon, the setback. Motion up front. It looked like the defense jumped. Willie Lowry, perhaps, the defensive end, the 6'5 senior. Although Washington starts to back up.
False start on the offensive team, 5 yards.
So Lowry was drawn off as you look at Jim Lambright.
Yeah, look at your left guard. I think it's going to be Johnson. He gets a little quick start there.
They called Jim Lambright the Prince of Purple, took over for Don James, gave the Huskies their new beginning, and he's been winning ever since. Former Husky player, fantastic teacher, terrific guy. So it'll be second down and 13 for the Huskies. Huard, 5-step drop over the middle, almost picked off, hits his tight end, Cameron Cleland, and he's out to the 45-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but was that a dangerous pass. Sammy Knight was there along with Grant Pearsall.
Well, Brock Huard has to get off to a good start, and that's what he did right there, using his tight end in the middle of the field. They're going to try to stretch this Southern Cal defense out a little bit, Timmy, to give Huard a chance to throw the ball. And I think Southern Cal wants to squeeze the line of scrimmage to make those, to be able to stop Corey Dillon against the run.
Third down and 3. Pathon comes out of the ball game. Gerald Harris, a wide receiver, comes in. The lone setback will be Corey Dillon. 4-3 look for SC. Janoski in motion. Plenty of time for Huard. Now throws it away, incomplete. It was thrown at the feet of Cameron Cleland, the tight end. But Huard looked confused.
Tim, they're trying to set up a screen play to the tight end to the strong side, and it just fell short. Had good coverage that time by Southern Cal.
Hamid Sarshar will come on to punt. 23 punts this year, averages 35 yards. Chad Morton is deep for SC. He's standing at his own 17. Chad Morton, 4th in the Pac-10 in punt returns. This is blocked. Prentice Hill came through, and SC will have great field position. Terrific play by Hill.
Tim, I think it's just going to come from the inside just to block. These guys feel like they could rush this punter, and that's what they've done. The low snap. Watch as the middle of your screen here. The ball is going to hit the ground. The punter has to move to get it, and just an inside. Guys let go of the blocks too soon. Go straight for the football right on the spot. Nice job there by the Trojans rushing it.
Jerry Jensen, the snapper, never got it off the ground.
Look right there. You're going to see him come from the left side of your screen, get right on the football. Actually, I'm not even sure that the punter had a chance to even kick the ball. He picked the ball up right at his foot.
First down, SC. Not much there as Washington breaks a tackle and then loses a yard. It's homecoming for Troy in the Coliseum, decked out in sunshine and fanfare this afternoon. Great day for college football. Washington Huskies come in with a record of 4-1 in the conference, still hoping for a co-championship. Of course, this game is huge between Washington and SC, playing for the next best bowl besides the Rose, second place in the Pac-10. Already we've had a low snap and a block punt. Here's Washington again. Washington inside the 40 to the 38-yard line where Jerry Jensen makes the tackle. So look at the quarterback, Brad Otten. Brad Otten, a 6'6" quarterback, 15-4 as a starter. Really came into his own at the Rose Bowl last year. Backs and receivers. Washington gets the start at tailback. Woods the fullback. Dilts the big tight end of Miller. Bastianelli are the wideouts. Third down, they need 13. Blitz coming. Otten in trouble, and he's sacked. Jerry Jensen made the tackle after Nigel Burton came on the blitz and flushed him out of the pocket.
Well, that's what they want to do, Timmy. They want to bring pressure from the outside, and Nigel Burton is a pretty good player in his own right coming off there. He's just a rover player. Take a look here from the right side of your screen. You're going to see Otten has enough time to throw if he throws the ball on timing, but the coverage is good, and Nigel comes from the left side, and Jensen cleans up the work. Good job that time by the Huskies.
So Jim Wren with the punt. Pathon calls for the fair catch and has it safely at the 11. A 32-yard punt, no return. We'll be back. Backs and receivers. Corey Dillon is big, 6'2", 225-pounder. He is fast, he is explosive, and he is the leading ball carrier in the conference. Keaho, Janoski, Cameron Cleland, the tight end, and Jerome Pathon, a talented transfer, 15 receptions last year, 29 this year. As you look at the big, strong offensive line, averaging just around 300 pounds. It is first down and 10, the ball at 11 for Washington. It is their second possession. Here's Dillon, and Dillon with a strong run. Just powers by Matt Kennelly. And Kennelly finally gets him down. The defense, Washington will have a tough time going against these guys. Russell is as good as they come. Kennelly just made that tackle. Casano, Claiborne is the freshman in the middle, a true freshman. And, of course, Sammy Knight, an all-conference type guy. Galen McCutcheon at one corner, along with Kenny Haslip, who starts in front of Chad Morton this afternoon. The safeties are Kelly and Pearsall. Second down and 7 at the 14. Here's Dillon again. Tries to find a hole that's not there, then bowls his way off the butts of his big linemen, Kadlitz and Kruitz, and gets out to the 17-yard line. Chris Claiborne will get credit with the tackle. He had help from Knight and Kelly.
Timmy, I think we're going to see a lot of that from the Trojans today. They're going to stack it up along the line of scrimmage. Going to see 8 and even 9 men up against there, so you see if they can slow Dillon down. Good job that time on the strong side of the Southern Cal defense. Big Keneally inside there with Russell. Those guys are probably the best tandem of tackles here in the conference.
The coaches will say SC has been inconsistent at times, but played pretty well most of the year. The defense is laced with big-time talent. Third down and 4. Here he is again with a hole. Breaks one tackle, can't sidestep the other. And Dillon is taken down by Casano.
You can see the power that Dillon has just dragging Cusano. Cusano just wraps him up along the leg, and big Corey Dillon at 225 pounds has the power and the strength to drag him for the first down.
He's got enough for the first down, so they'll move the chains. First down, Washington.
Well, for these guys to be successful today, I think that Washington really, they've got to be able to use that big offensive line, that big running back, and run the football, which is what they're trying to do. And defensively, while Washington has to, they can't allow a big play in the passing game, can't let Brad Otten throw the ball down the field, or on special teams. USC has done a good job this year on special teams with some big plays, and Washington can't afford to let that happen today.
Two tight ends, Cleland and Brigham, in the ball game for Washington on first down and 10 at the 22. Play action, 3-step drop. Timing pattern should be a flag. There is none. Boy, I want to tell you something. That jersey was wrapped up by Casano. He actually pulled the jersey in front of the back judge. And it looked like Cleveland could have come free in the seam.
Timmy, it looked like Heward wanted him to go to the middle of the field. Just as you said, he was prohibited from going in there by the linebacker. Take a look here at the right side of your screen. You're going to see the tight end release. You can take it up a little bit more. Look on the right side of the screen. The linebacker's inside. The tight end is trying to work to the inside for the pass, and that's where Heward throws the ball. Sammy Knight does a nice job of walking him to the outside.
Good coverage if you don't get flagged. So it'll be second down. They still need 10. Again, here's Dillon. Dillon with a hole to the 25 to 30. First down out to the 40 and 44-yard line. Goes big Corey Dillon. Brought down by Darnell Lacey finally from behind, but not until he picks up 22 yards.
Jim Lambright told us that when they hand to Corey Dillon the ball, they feel like they're going to get 4 yards a pop at least. And then you get Corey Dillon out in the open. He has enough speed to make a big play. Jim Lambright has to really like what he sees. Take a look here from behind the offense. Just a little misdirection play, and then Dillon's just going to follow the blockers. He has enough speed to get to the outside. Good blocking out in front of him there on Knight. And Dillon is off to the races. This is a big, strong, quality tailback we're seeing from Washington.
He has really stepped up his game this year with Sheehy injured a lot this season. First down. Heward throws in the flats. Has it to his tight end, Brigham. And Brigham has another first down for Washington. Finally knocked out by Sammy Knight.
Good-looking drive starting here for Washington. And Heward, just a freshman quarterback. He came in now. Didn't start the season, but he came in after 3 games starting. Fortney started the season, but Heward is a freshman doing a nice job. I think that Lambright wants to settle him down, let him roll a little bit, throw the ball to a safe, secure pass to the outside. It's a good job moving this Husky offense.
Damon Heward starred at quarterback 3 straight years at Washington. Now with his younger brother Brock at the helm, it's become like family tradition, the rite of passage. First down and 10 at the 43 for the Huskies. Brock Heward with a terrific drive, leading the Huskies down the field. 3-step drop, the out pattern complete. And Fred Coleman has 5 yards, knocked out by Ken Haslip, the sophomore from Altadena.
Ken Haslip laying off, give a little bit of a soft coverage out there, and Heward just takes a 3-step drop and drops it in underneath. Nice job by Washington of taking what the defense has given them, and a good steady drive here to start this first quarter.
Jerome Pathon comes out of the ball game. Gerald Harris brings in the play. They spread the field. 3 wideouts on 2nd down and 5 at the 38. Heward checks off, counts the number of players in the box. Again, goes to a timing pattern. A lot of contact, no flags. Boy, Kenny Haslip and Fred Coleman were bumping and grinding the first 7 yards and finally went down. No flags.
Well, Haslip does do a good job of coverage out there, and they're just bumping like you said, Tim. Let's take a look here and see if we can see what happened on the play. Got good position there, the quarterback, and I tell you that he has as much right to that turf as the receiver, so he does a good job, and the receiver just falls flat down.
Well, I don't know about that. Had him wrapped up. Cleland and Brigham now. 2 tight ends. 3rd down and 5. The lone setback is Dillon. He's the ball carrier. Still on his feet, close to a first down. Chris Claiborne tripped him up, but great second effort by Corey Dillon to keep his balance, spin, and gain a couple of extra yards. He's up near the first down marker.
So that's the matchup we talked about at the beginning of the game, Timmy. Chris Claiborne from Southern California. He has to do a nice job of stepping up and tackling a big tailback. And I tell you, it's no easy task when you've got a guy 225 pounds running through the line. A big 4th down decision here. Looks like the Huskies are going to go for it here at about the 33-yard line.
4th down and short. 2 tight ends for Washington. 2 wideouts to the bottom of the screen. And Dillon is the setback in motion. Heward, quarterback sneak, should have enough for the first, but the ball was on the ground. SC says it hasn't. The officials disagree. It'll be Washington ball, and he should have enough for the first down. Jim Fogeltantz is the referee today. He was quick with his decision.
Interesting call. There's a quarterback sneak here. You got a big tailback, but they're going to let Heward take it. The ball's on the ground. See if we can find out who comes up with it.
Kreutz and Heward, trouble with the snap on the quarterback sneak as you look at John Robinson, now in his 4th year, 2nd stint at USC. Last May, USC extended his contract an additional 5 years, which will take John through the year 2001. Had a great visit with him yesterday. Very affable, very congenial guy. Seems to be enjoying life.
John's one of those guys who really enjoys this game, and it's kind of funny. He told us that he really enjoyed the recruiting side of the job a little bit more these days.
Went to a high school game last night.
Yeah, he did, down in Orange County.
He's done a super job in his 3 years. USC has won 2 Pac-10 titles, 1 runner-up, and 3 bowl wins, albeit still haven't beaten Notre Dame and struggling against UCLA.
4th down fumble rule does not apply. Quarterback never had possession. It's ruled a backward pass. Therefore, it's legal by rule for any offensive player to recover the ball. First down.
Jim Fogeltantz trying to explain the rule. I guess there was a protest from that sideline. Bottom line is they never had control. We showed you the replay. Kreutz and Heward never really did connect. So the ball was never in possession of the offense. Anybody, since it was behind the line of scrimmage, can recover that football and advance it. First down, Washington.
And Lane Johnson came up with the football, the left guard. He did recover it for the first down.
First down for the Huskies. Out of the eye. Again, there's motion. 14 of the last 20 games between Washington and Southern California have been decided by 12 points or less. Last year, of course, the 21-21 tie.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards.
This motion was against Matt Kennelly, the defensive tackle, the senior out of Laguna Hills, California. Reminder, tomorrow night on ABC, the Wait is finally over. One of the movie's classic films. Disney's The Lion King comes to ABC. That's tomorrow night at 7. Then ABC's double feature continues with the world premiere of To Brave Alaska, starring Alyssa Milano. 4 great hours at the movies tomorrow night right here on ABC. It'll be first down and 5. The ball at the 26. This drive, 10 plays, 63 yards, and eating a lot of clock. Hewitt to Dillon. This time he's met at the line, still bowls his way forward for a couple of tough, very tough yards. Again, Chris Claiborne will get credit for the tackle.
Corey Dillon run into the heart of the Southern California defense. Chris Claiborne, I think he's doing a pretty good job of stepping up and reading the plays. It's going to be a long day, and those two are going to meet a lot, Chris Claiborne and Corey Dillon.
Chris Claiborne now starting his 5th game, 5 straight games. He scored a touchdown against Penn State. Had 19 tackles against Cal. He's a next level guy. He'll play. First rounder waiting to happen. He'll have to wait a couple years for it. Second down and 4. The ball at the 25. Hewitt, 3-step drop over the middle. Complete first down, Washington. Fred Coleman with his second catch of the game. They call him the Texas Twister. He has game-breaking speed, and that time made a terrific catch inside the defensive back for the first down.
Good confidence builder that time, Timmy, for Hewitt to throw the ball on timing. Little quick slant pattern. Those are the hardest balls to throw for a quarterback because he's throwing it as the receiver's moving into the heart of the defense. Does a nice job of getting the ball to Coleman.
So Coleman comes out of the ball game. Cam Kissel comes in. Janoski to the bottom of the screen. Pathon to the top. First down, Washington. Dillon. All over that one. But even when it looks like SC is in the backfield, he still picks up positive yardage. Tackle made by Sammy Knight.
They're going to use Corey Dillon a lot today, and they're using the big tight ends as lead blockers for him. Little counter play that time, and Dillon gets in behind there. Good job that time by Southern California, stacking up a line of scrimmage and running these guys down.
Sammy Knight, the coaches will tell you, the best player on the defense. They actually called him a gym rat. He's a guy that really loves to just hang around, watch film, work out all the time.
Washington very proficient in the red zone. 83% of the time down here, they're scoring points.
Dillon on second down and 8. Carries Kennelly across the 10 to the 7-yard line. Great block by Lynn Johnson, the tackle.
Well, Kennelly's one of those big tackles in there coming off the inside to make the play, and Lynn Johnson starting at left guard, and Dallin now on the right side as the offensive tackle. Take a look here, and you see Johnson does a good job sealing it inside. Corey Dillon has a hole, and then Kennelly from the inside just scrapes to the outside to make the play.
Terrific drive by the Huskies. Yahoo and Dillon out of the eye. Third down, they need 4. SC's coming, and they have Dillon in a hurry. Darrell Russell, terrific play. Got him around the legs, tripped him up early.
Timmy, that was a good play by Russell, but it was all set up by that middle linebacker. Chris Claiborne runs right into the heart of the defense and heart of the offense and hits Keaho.
So it's 4th down. They need 4, and will kick the field goal. John Wales comes on. This will be from 25 yards out. Wales, 5th on the Huskies' all-time field goal list, but he's just 4 of 8. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. And the Huskies of Washington are on the board first. Terrific drive by Washington, and it's 3-0 Huskies. Tim Brandt and Gary Rees is with you on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Washington with a terrific 16-play drive all the way down the field, ending with the field goal from 25 yards to take a 3-0 lead. John Wales will kick off as you look at R.J. Soward and Chris Miller. Boy, Soward has been special. Soward averaging 36 yards a return, and in 9 returns, he's had 2 touchdowns.
Don't expect Washington to kick him. I think they're going to try a sky kick to keep it away from Soward, knowing that he has big play potential.
John Wales, it is high, it is short, taken by the up man. at the 25-yard line. And Travis Hall is down at the 26. The Chile starting lineups for SC, backs and receivers. SC is talking about more emphasis on the run. Washington is coming off an excellent game last week. Wood starts at fullback. The passing game has struggled. Receivers have dropped a lot of balls. But the offensive line is big, it's strong, it's young, and its potential is phenomenal. 6'5", 302-pound average. Brad Otten is the Trojan trigger man. 6'6", strong arm, smart, and successful. 15-4-1 as a starter. He has first down at the 26. The swing pass, Washington to the 30, breaks the tackle after the 34-yard line. Goes DeLon Washington. Ink Aliaga with the tackle after a gain of 8. Defensively, the front seven, Ink Aliaga, the heart and soul of the defense. Jason Chorek with 11 sacks. And the secondary was a concern coming into the season. It still is a concern, ranked near the bottom of the Pac-10. Miller and Smith at the corners. So it'll be 2nd down and 2. Washington jams everybody up by the line of scrimmage. 8-man front. Aliaga now backs off. This is Washington, and he's hit immediately. DeLon Washington, absolutely nothing. David Ritchie was there to make the tackle. 8-man front. They actually brought 9 to the line and stopped Washington immediately.
USC has a history of running the football, Tim, and that's what Washington has to do as well. You have to bring a lot of people up the line of scrimmage. They run a 4-4 defense. They bring a lot of people up. It's going to look like what you ran, Maryland, a wide tackle 6. There's Charles White on the sideline.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for Otten and the Trojans. 5-step drop, looks into the flat, wide open. This is Sermons, and Rodney Sermons into Washington territory at the 46. Perfect touch pass. He put air under it. And Fiala was beaten. Mel Miller couldn't get over in time, and Sermons picks up 20.
Rod Sermons is one of the leading receivers on this Trojan offense. He had 27 receptions coming into the ball game. He's just going to run a swing pattern. He's lined up on the left side of your screen there, and Otten throws it up over the linebacker, does a nice job of keeping it out in front of Sermons. He makes a nice catch.
Tony Parrish, this free safety, had deep third responsibilities. He was late after Fiala was beaten, so it's 1st down at the 45. Sean Walters with his first carry. We're going to see a lot of backs tonight, or this afternoon rather. Washington and Walters, and we've already seen Sermons, who is a great receiver out of the backfield, leading receiver with 27 for the year. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has awarded nearly $6 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities.
The emphasis for USC coming in here with this ball game on offense, Tim, is to have balance. John Robinson wanted balance in the passing game and in the running game. The resurrection with Washington with 99 yards a week ago to set the stage for a good running attack with the Trojans.
Into the flat to Woods, and I mean, he was just drilled by Jermaine Smith. Boy, Smith, a redshirt freshman, came up and just tagged him. Where Smith picked off his first pass against Arizona State and Jake Plummer, and he's been gaining confidence ever since.
Well, that's the kind of play a cornerback likes to make. He's laying out there to the outside, just waiting for a ball to be thrown up in front of him where he can break up. And actually, the running back has his back turned, so Smith has a chance to unload on him, and he really does.
Oh, my. So Sermons and Washington in the backfield now. 3rd down, they need 9. Otten goes again to the flats, almost picked off. Jerry Jensen read it, got a terrific break on the ball, and got to it before Mike Bastianelli almost had the pick.
That's a big play by Jerry Jensen coming from the inside, making his way out there to tap that ball away. Take a look at the screen here. You'll see it as a right side of the screen. He's just going to dive out and knock the ball away from the receiver.
Keep in mind, Washington is +6 in the turnover takeaway statistics. That has helped them tremendously this year. Jim Wren to punt. Pathan is deep. They'll let this one go into the end zone for the touchback. So a 44-yard punt with 1:25 to go in the first quarter. Washington still leads by a field goal. We'll be back after this. Sanchez twin engines that are capable of reaching speeds greater than 57 miles per hour. Snoopy 2 can navigate at altitudes in excess of 6,000 feet. Glad to have MetLife along. If you're just joining us, it's Tim Brandt, Gary Reasons, Todd Donahoe on the field. Washington leads after a 16-play drive, went 82 yards, 7.5 minutes, and ended with a 25-yard field goal. So it's 3-0. Washington with the ball, first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Corey Dillon off the right side. This time, the men from Troy wrap him up. Darrell Russell got there first, along with Cassano and Claiborne.
Nice job of penetration that time by the front four of the Southern California defense.
Corey Dillon now with 11 carries, 38 yards. He has really stepped up his game. Sheehy has been injured a lot. Dillon has been the plow horse. One of the most productive players in the country. Third in all-purpose yards.
Yeah, Sheehy came on the scene last year for the Huskies and had over 1,000 yards and 15 TDs. They expected a lot from him this year, but he's had some injury problems.
Second down and 12. Brock Hewitt to the flat, complete. And Janoski is out near the first down markers, almost to the 30, but should be just a little bit short. Mark Cassano knocked him down. I believe on the Washington side of the first down markers, he'll need about a foot or less. Actually, it's a matter of inches.
3rd and 1.
Michigan big over Michigan State today. Notre Dame beat up on Navy, if you missed that one. 40 seconds remain in the first quarter from the Coliseum. 3rd down and inches. Dillon, big hole, bangs his way into the secondary, has the first down to the 34-yard line. Let's go back to New York in the studios, and here's John Saunders. John? Game that Enos had against Southern Cal in the kickoff classic. Southern California. 15 seconds remain. Play action. Brock Hewitt into flats, picked off. Intercepted by Sammy Knight. That ball never had a chance. Brock Hewitt looking for Brigham, his tight end, underthrown, and Knight had a terrific break on it to pick it off.
Timmy, you called it. The pressure on Hewitt is what throws him off here, and it was a good opportunity for Knight to get out underneath the coverage. The ball is underthrown. Sammy Knight does a nice job of going down for it. You see Hewitt here, he has pressure on his face and causes him to throw the ball down. Sammy Knight, as you said earlier, Tim, these USC coaches feel like he is possibly their best defensive player on the field.
So Knight with his 3rd interception of the year. It'll be first down at the 39 for Otten. Steps up over the middle, it's complete. He's got Bastianelli down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
That showed me the poise of a senior quarterback there. Brad Otten just steps back in the pocket, steps up a little bit, buys a little time for his receivers to get open down the field. Bastianelli does a nice job of coming across the middle for the reception.
Beat Tony Parrish, a gain of 26. Keep in mind, Washington 9th in the Pac-10 in pass efficiency defense.
Yeah, watch the rush here on Otten. He steps up into the smooth side of the part of the pocket. Bastianelli comes across the middle, does a nice job of working to the open hole in the zone.
So that's the end of the first quarter from the LA Coliseum. Washington scored first, but the Trojans of Southern California are on the move. The drive was only 3 plays after the interception by Knight. Otten to Sermons, bingo. The Trojans are on the board. 14:21 to play, second quarter. And at 7-3 SC. Drive only went 39 yards, took 48 seconds. So David Bell will kick off. Payton is deep. And again, it's a short kick. Payton takes it at the 9. Out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. So Washington will have good field position after a 28-yard return. Let's go down on the field. Here's Todd Donahoe.
Well, Tim, they're honoring old Trojans here today, and here's the Heisman Trophy runner-up 1988, Rodney Peete, who wishes he were with the Eagles right now with the Cowboys. You injured your knee on Monday Night Football. How is it?
It's come along good, but what's that old stuff, man?
Well, 8 years ago, I can't believe it.
No, it's been a long time, but the knees come along good. You know, it's more frustrating than anything. You know, I think that when you have a season where you're going into it and you have high expectations and it gets cut short, it's really frustrating. So that's what I'm going through right now.
And quick, let's get a shot of your wife, Holly Robinson, from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. There she is. Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm having a great time.
Back upstairs.
Motion everywhere. I think they got excited seeing Holly. Penalty. 14-13 to play. Looked like Dalen moved.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
It was Aaron Dalen is a sophomore who is starting today. He's out of the 1992 recruiting class. As a matter of fact, his high school team was 0-9. He was second-time All-League. Jim Lamb right now has him starting against USC.
They expect a lot of big things. I mean, he's a really smart kid, a National Honor Society student in high school, and got a 3.9 GPA in Washington. So he certainly, has the mental part of this game to work to do. But just physically, he's just got to overpower people on that offensive line.
1st and 15 at the 31. Out pattern is incomplete, intended for Fred Coleman.
We'll take a look back at the first quarter, see what happened there. Most of the drive of the first quarter was from Washington driving down the field. You see it here, they had 22 plays in the first quarter, and that's what really set up the 3 points that they had early on in the game.
For the Trojans, although they only have 4.5 minutes in time of possession, which has been dominated by Washington. It was the big turnover, the interception by Knight that led to a 3-play drive and the touchdown pass to Sermons. The ball is on the 30. Brock Hewitt is faced with 2nd and 15. Looks to the sideline, and it's dropped by Pathon. That ball was well thrown and should have been caught. Jerome Pathon, one of the most improved players on the club, with 29 receptions, very rarely drops them, but that time was in his hands, and he missed it.
Little play action pass, and Hewitt is going to do a nice job of getting out there, hits the receiver right between the numbers, and Pathon just drops the football. Very uncharacteristic for this receiver. He's his go-to guy, and I tell you, Pathon wants to have that one back. He won't miss many like that today, Tim.
He is 5th in the Pac-10 in receiving, leads this club, a talented transfer from Nova Scotia's Acadia University. It'll be 3rd down and 15. Coleman, the motion man. Looking deep, and now goes underneath to Coleman. Oh my, he had Pathon open down the sideline and never saw him.
He's throwing at Coleman, but Haslip has man-to-man coverage on him across the field. Haslip does a really nice job covering him at this cornerback position going across the field. And Hewitt did not see the receiver open down the field, Timmy.
Brock Hewitt now 4 of 12. Washington quarterbacks haven't made many mistakes, only 5 interceptions coming into this game. But it was an interception by Knight that has turned the tide. Sarshar to punt. It's an end-over-end punt. It's short, and it's taken at the 39 by Chad Morton. It's only a 26-yard punt. SC with great field position. Areas of the pro figure skating world and sparkling performances. Former world champions Christy Yamaguchi, Katarina Witt, Dorothy Hamill, and Kurt Browning highlight the competition. Don't miss the dramatic conclusion of the U.S. Pro Figure Skating Championships, and the romance continues on an all-new episode of Relativity, all tonight at 8, right here on ABC. First down Trojans at the 40. Sermon straight ahead. Bet immediately may have lost a yard. He's become a big part of the offense as a runner and as a receiver. They use him in what they call their scat formation. Hit the back out of the backfield. He had 6 catches last week, has a touchdown catch here, and is the leading receiver for the men of Troy.
Sermons is one of those running backs that they like to use a fullback in the passing game. When they go to a blocking situation, they may not want Sermons in there, but he's definitely their best receiver out of the backfield.
The story so far is Washington defense against the run. SC minus 10 yards rushing. 2nd down and 12. Here is Walters. Walters out to the 39-yard line. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Ink Aliaga.
Tim, you talked about the combination of running backs here from Southern California. John Robinson told us that he's finally got the combinations that he wants with Washington and Woods and a tailback and fullback, and now this switch with Walters and Sermons. Two tandems of tailback and fullback in the game, and John Robinson trying to sort it out on the field right now.
Having a tough time getting the running game going today. USC had to replace the entire offensive line this year, including tight end. Now there is not a senior starter on the line, and it's bigger than half the NFL clubs. Enormously talented. And just enormous. Jonathan Heimbach is out of the game. He's gone. John Robinson doesn't appear happy. We need to find out what took place. Eric Denman comes into the game. He is now your center. Look at Todd Donahoe over there. 3rd down and 10 at the 40, and Otten gets his pass off but can't get any yardage. Maybe a yard. It was caught by Larry Parker for a yard. He was hit immediately by Nigel Burton, who came and put pressure on Otten, and then the hit in the secondary on Parker.
Nigel Burton came from the open side and just laid into Otten that time. Good job of pressure from the outside and caused an errant throw.
So Jim Wren gets a punt off. It's a high spiraling punt that takes Payton all the way back inside the 5. Dangerously close to the goal line and out to the 5-yard line. Chad Morton got down there in a hurry after a 54-yard punt to make the tackle on Payton. The new Dodge. It's about to change. And by Nike. 12:01 to play in the first half. Tim Brandt, Gary Reasons, Todd Donahoe with you.
Well, Timmy, the kicking game is always crucial for field position. Watch here as Wren punts. He is almost doing a little acting job there, I think, from Wren, and then he goes down, and the receiver down there, Payton, makes a terrible decision inside the 5-yard line to catch the ball. It almost goes back into the end zone. Not a smart thing by a return man inside the 5-yard line fielding the kick.
1st down and 10, backed up. Dillon back to the line of scrimmage and tries to push the scrimmage line forward. Gains maybe a yard, if that. Washington trying to stay balanced. Use the play action. But it's all set up by the run and keep Huard out of long passing downs. Coaches don't want to set him up for a fall.
Think of what's happened for Washington early on here. They started with a pretty good drive in the first quarter and resulted in a field goal. They've had a little bit of problems along the way with the interception, which led to a USC touchdown. 2nd
down and 9 at the 6. Huskies backed up. Dillon, right side, big hole to the 10, and out close to a 1st down. Corey Dillon, he has been on a tear of late. 2 games, 404 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, 493 all-purpose yards coming into this game. Corey Dillon gets behind Kreutz and Olsen that time, and Olsen just knocks his guy out of there, and then Dillon, big guy himself, he's moving the pile as well. See what he's done today, and you watch your just come to your side. Watch Olsen there, number 76. He gets 2 blocks. He takes Claiborne completely out of the play. The young freshman, I tell you, Benji Olsen does a really nice job in opening the hole for Corey Dillon. He's got the 1st down. So Washington escapes some very, very poor field position. Jim Lambright not happy with what's taking place right now. The momentum of this game has switched. His club got out to a great drive, took the early lead. And now SC has been really playing well the last 8 minutes. On 1st down, straight ahead, this is Keaho, and he has absolutely no room to move. Mark Cassano got there first. Right now, let's take you back to New York studios, and here's John. 2nd down and 10 at the 15. Buick stumbles coming away from the center, now throws to the flats. And it's complete, but Janoski has no room, now puts the ball on the turf, and SC has it. Brian Kelly stripped it.
Well, Tim, that's one of the things that coaches practice. They have strip drills, and that's what they did that time. Janoski has the ball just pulled away from him by the defender. He doesn't take him to the ground. You see here, Heward's going to throw it outside, and you watch him just pull the football out from Janoski. Does a good job as he's going down, still working that football. Good job by the Southern Cal defense.
Brian Kelly ripped it out. Aaron Williams made the recovery. .10:04 to go in the first half, and SC is on a roll. Sermon's in motion. Across the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Jeff Diltz, but Tony Parrish separated him from the ball.
Yeah, Jeff Diltz is in there for John Allred. John Allred might be one of the best 3 players on the Southern California offense as a tight end, and he's not in the ball game. He's out for a couple of weeks, and Diltz is going to have to come up big. They ran the same play they did, Timmy, a little earlier on scoring the play. Take a look, you can see Sermons goes to the outside, the fullback, and as they cover him, does a good job of throwing it inside to the tight end to Diltz, but just a little high and inside.
Washington came into the game +6 in the takeaway margin. They turned it over twice, and SC's trying to capitalize for the second time. This is Washington, not much. John Fiala got there first. He's the leading tackler. Had his knee scoped 16 days ago, John Fiala did. Back out on the field playing. Actually played some last week. 6'3", 230-pound senior.
Yeah, they didn't know if he was going to start this week, but he did, and John Fiala is the leading tackler on this team. Yeah, that's Allred behind Robinson. He's not in the game, and Diltz is having to come up big here at tight end. You know, that's the key to a running game, Timmy. You have to have a blocking tight end, and that's what Allred has been able to do for them, as well as throw the ball. And, you know, he's a potential NFL player himself, and he wants to get back out there on the field.
I'm back to center, comes back in on 3rd down and 12. Otten swings it to Washington. Looks for help and gets hit at the 9 by Jensen and Towns. This is the 3rd SC drive that has started in Washington territory.
A couple of turnovers here have set up this field position. The interception by Knight and then the fumble recovery. One to a touchdown and now an attempt at a field goal.
Adam Abrams will attempt a 27-yarder. He's had 6 blocked this year. 4 field goals, 2 point after touchdowns. Gets this one up. And it's good. So with 8 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the first half, the Trojans now up 10-3 over Washington. For Southern California, 2 turnovers that they turned into the 10 points. Their running game really has not been able to generate much. It's been the passing arm of Otten. And the field goal. David Bell to kick off. Joe Zarzinka and Jerome Pathon are deep for Washington. This will be Pathon at the 3. Pathon needs a block. He's got some room to the 30. Out all the way to the 35-yard line. For most of you coming up next, it's the second game of our college football doubleheader as San Diego State finds the way to San Jose State. Don't miss our WAC matchup coming up next here on ABC Sports. And then next Saturday at 12:30 Pacific, the Gridiron Greats are right here on ABC. Our Pac-10 game pairs Washington State against UCLA, plus other regional action, including Air Force and Army. Check your local listings for the game on your ABC station and the games available from your cable operator. That's all next Saturday right here on ABC Sports. First down at the 35. And Dillon is run out of bounds at the line of scrimmage by George Perry.
Take a look at Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator for this Trojan defense. And I tell you, he told us he's going to do a few different things and bring some guys up. Actually stunned his linebackers inside to stop the run. They've done a good job against this Husky offense. Keith Burns said he might even play a little bit of the Bear or 46 defense just to throw a little something different at Heward, the young quarterback. They've done a good job against the run so far today.
Washington brings Fred Coleman into the ball game. It's 2nd down and 8 at the 37. Dillon now 15 carries, 62 yards. Janoski in motion. Heward to the outside, and it's dropped. Janoski was open in the flats and dropped it. That's the second drop we've seen in the last 5 minutes. Pathon dropped one earlier.
To to be a long day for the Huskies, I tell you, if these guys keep dropping the passes. A 46, the Bear defense I talked about earlier. It's man-to-man coverage out here. Janoski has it right in his lap and just lets the ball go right through. Good read by Hewitt and a good placement of the ball, but the receivers have to come up with those catches.
Hewitt on 3rd down and 8 throws the flanker screen, and that's incomplete, intended for Jerome Pathon, and that was a catchable ball. Coming in, listening to the coaches, it was the Trojans of SC who talked about their receivers dropping balls this year. Now 3 in a row by Washington. And the Huskies will have to punt. Hamid Sashar will do the punting for Washington. And Chad Morton is deep for SC. Sashar gets off a high tail wagger. Morton will let this one hit. Inside the 25, down to the 16-yard line. A mistake by Morton to let it hit the ground. So it becomes a 47-yard punt. Backs up the men of Troy inside the 20 to the, they'll mark it just inside the 17-yard line.
USC has started today, Timmy, with a lot better field position. They're going to have to go the length of the field, some 87 yards to score now.
SC has not gotten its running game going yet.
No, they really haven't. The Washington defense has done a pretty good job of it. But I tell you, Otten has done a good job of moving the ball around to Sermons, especially out of the backfield. He's a competent quarterback, a senior, knows what he's doing right there.
Otten on 1st down throws over the middle. It's complete to Parker. Parker out to the 31-yard line.
Good job by Parker that time. Little isolation route outside, and the fullback clears to the outside. Take a look here as Otten looks down the field. You're going to see, gets the ball down and low, inside. There was a fullback that cleared out the zone. The safety was over the top. Good job that time by Otten.
But it's the same thing, Gary. SC now with 80 yards passing and just -9 rushing. Have not been able to get the running game going at all. 1st down underneath to Sermons. He's hit immediately. Oh, what a play. Sermons was just drilled by Ink Aliaga.
Ink Aliaga comes up and makes a nice hit there. Is that John Fiala? We'll take a look here from the end zone. This could be a little combination right. If you hold it right there, I can show you something here. The tight end's going to clear out to the outside. The fullback's going to come underneath, and the linebacker's coming right in here on the plate. Let it roll here, and you'll see what I'm saying. Fiala does a nice job on the read and hits the receiver as the ball gets there. I'll tell you, but a nice job by Sermons to hang on to that thing.
2nd down and 7 at the 35. Big spin move by Washington. Still on his feet across the 40 to the 41-yard line goes DeLon Washington. Finally stopped by Kyle Roberts.
Yeah, Aliaga, one of the leading tacklers, a tough guy inside, All-American candidate coming in, missed the tackle that time. John Robinson told us he wanted to have balance on offense as Otten's going to hand the ball to Washington, who picks his way through here. And watches him go through the line. Good spin move there, and Aliaga has a chance right there in the backfield to make a play, but lets him go. John Robinson wants to run the football at USC. There's no doubt about that. He can't leave it on the quarterback all the time to make the play.
Longest run of the day for SC. 1st down at the 42. Otten tries to scramble out, caught from behind by Tuaya. And Tuaya makes the tackle inside the 42-yard line. It'll be marked.
A little concern that time by John Robinson for Otten to be running outside. When he was tackled at the end of the game last week, Tim, against Washington State, he left, holding his arm. He actually had a neck problem that he aggravated earlier in the season, and that's what happened at the end of that ball game. It didn't work out the first couple days this week, but Otten's back in the lineup, and hopefully he won't take they're hopeful that he won't take any hits to re-aggravate that injury.
Mac Tuiea, a 6'6", 285-pound redshirt freshman with a big play there. 2nd down and 9 at the 43. Again, Lavelle Woods stopped immediately. Boy, Tuiea is a load. 285 pounds, 6'6".
Good, strong defensive tackle inside, and gets penetration. That's what they like out of their defensive linemen for Washington. Get penetration in the backfield to slow down those running backs and make them make a cut out of the hole.
Coming into the season, the defensive line certainly a major question mark for the Huskies, a major concern of the coaches. But Campbell and Ritchie and Tuiea have stepped up. Chork and Jensen on the outside help. It'll be 3rd down and 9. And Otten has it batted down. And there he is again, Mac Tuiea, with that big 6'6" frame right in front of Otten, and blocked the pass.
I'll tell you, Jason Chorak has got a beef there. He was coming and rushing, and he was just tackled by the left tackle on that play as Otten throws it away.
Otten walks off the field laughing, knowing Tuiea came free.
You can take a look there in front of you. Jason Chorak was just tackled by the left tackle, and the ball came off his hand, and that's one of those throws a quarterback doesn't want to ever make.
Wren gets off a high punt. Hathon will fair catch it at the 16. So a 41-yard punt. Let's take you all the way back to New York and John Saunders.
Come back today against Penn State. They're going to have to stop.
Well, two-minute confrontation with Arizona State at the Rose Bowl, but you can see Arizona State losing right now. That could become interesting.
It should. It has a big impact on this ball game, especially if Arizona State stumbles this game and possibly another down the road. This game could be very meaningful in the Pac-10.
Arizona State and Oregon State going on right now. And Oregon State, which has surprised a few people this year, up on Arizona State. That game, of course, in Corvallis. 59 seconds remain in the first half. Homecoming in Southern California, and it is just a magnificent day.
I can see Oregon State 7-6 over Arizona State. Big impact in this Pac-10, I'll tell you. Up in Corvallis, that offense that they run up is a little unorthodox and can give defensive fits.
Still early. Still very early in that game. Arizona State has come back time and time again this year. Won in every way possible. Down by 21 against UCLA, came back and won it. Up by, trailed USC by 14 and came back and won it. Squandered a 21-point lead against Washington, but still won that game. Here's Washington again, out to the 35-yard line. Commissioner of the Pac-10 is with us today, Tom Hansen. We were talking about the bowl possibilities with him earlier. Arizona State still unbeaten, playing today as we mentioned, and headed to the Rose Bowl and possibly a national championship game against Ohio State, which hopes to be unbeaten at that time as well. Washington and SC playing today in a big ball game for second place in the Pac-10, and the next best bowl game, which could very well be the Cotton Bowl.
The Cotton or the Holiday Bowl.
Well, Cotton plays, they pay a little bit more than the Holiday Bowl.
Yes, they do. Well, as we talked to the coaches, both John Robinson and Jim Lambright, they both had a little bit different take on this ball game. John Robinson actually felt like this game was being played for second place. Tim, as you talked to the coaches on the field yesterday here from Washington, they said they're going to be playing for hopefully a tie in the Pac-10. It's going to help in their recruiting. They felt like if they were co-champions in the Pac-10, that it could be an opportunity for them to do well in that area.
We have representatives of both the Sun Bowl and the Aloha Bowl up here with us earlier today. All out scouting both of these clubs for later in the season. Tremendous bowls. Had the opportunity to work every one of those bowls. They are fantastic. This is a high wobbling punt that goes all the way back to the 15-yard line. There is a flag, and I believe they're going to bring it back for roughing. "49-yard punt, no return." But Brooks Beaupain came through and roughed the kicker. Jim Wren went down, and so they'll bring this baby back.
Really not a bad time to try to block a punt. Watch the left side of your screen. They're going to come hard at him, and Beaupain is going to come from the outside and just get right in the middle and hit the punter. Knocks Wren down, and that's what the call is. I tell you, with only 40 seconds left in the second quarter, Tim, it's not a bad time to rush the punter and possibly get one and take it in for a score.
Defensive responsibility to avoid the kicker, even if you're blocked in. The only difference is if you're blocked, it's 5 instead of 15.
Yeah, but what it does now is it puts the Trojans up at midfield with 41 seconds to go in the second quarter. Well, Roberts isn't happy about what happened there on that rush. The roughing of the kicker.
He's the special teams coach. 41 seconds remain. First down at midfield. Otten with plenty of time steps up in the pocket and almost picked off. It was intended for Chris Miller, overthrown, and Jermaine Smith, the cornerback, had a hand on it. Otten now 10 for 15, 96 yards and a touchdown.
Chris Miller this season coming in, he was a lot of high expectations with Keyshawn Johnson leaving and Miller, the heir apparent to that area. Not getting it done on that play.
That ball should have been picked off. Smith, who picked off a pass earlier in the year against Arizona State's Jake Plummer, should have had that one. Here's Shermans with a good cutback to the 46-yard line. See the time remaining in the first half.
Kind of strange. I was wondering why John Robinson wouldn't be calling timeout, run the ball here. Got good field position, have enough timeouts to be able to do something, move down, at least get in field goal range.
Timeout SC. John Robinson does not lose in the Coliseum very often. The Trojans have won 25 of their last 30 games here. John is 51-9-2 here in the Coliseum. He's had great success.
Well, he's had great success in his total coaching career. You know, everywhere he goes, it just seems like that he has a way about him to rally a team. And, you know, just talking to him yesterday, Tim, he's a guy that I would like to play for. He and Jim Lambright both. Those guys are just the kind of coaches that you really like to be around. They seem to inspire players, and they get the most out of the talent that they have. And they have a good way of communicating. These guys, both as coaches, they're good communicators. And Jim Lambright, he really likes being in the game as a teacher. He likes to teach young men about life. And, you know, there's more to football than just playing the game. And these coaches are a big impact on these players' lives.
Both terrific guys. John Robinson now in his 4th year, 2nd stint here at USC. Well, the Trojans are strong, getting better, maturing. His program has had phenomenal success. 3rd down and 6 at the 46. Out of the shotgun. Otten again with plenty of time decides to run it to the 40. Has the first down to the 35, to the 33-yard line, and finally stopped by the rover, Nigel Burton. A pickup of 14, but Otten broke the tackle of Smith. Burton finally got him, and they'll move the chains.
Well, Brad Otten, Tim, at 6'6", is not known for his running ability, but I tell you, he has enough ability to get through there when the hole is that big. Watch it here from the backside of behind the quarterback and see what he's holding it right there. If he can hold it right there, you're going to see there's nothing in front of him except for one linebacker, and he's just going to take it to the outside. Little blocking there, and Otten trying to get to the sideline to stop the clock. Does a nice job of moving the chains. I tell you, quarterback, smart guy, a senior, he knows that why throw it into trouble. And there's some good blocking out here to the outside. Gives Otten a chance to get to the sideline. And what's happened here is the clock stopped on the first down.
Well, and then Otten very brightly called timeout. 16 seconds left. The ball at the 33-yard line. Abrams' longest field goal is 39 yards, not within his range yet. SC has 1 timeout remaining and 16 seconds to use it. So I suspect Otten will come back on. They'll try to move it within Abrams' range. Try to get 3 more on the board before they go into the house.
Well, this is something Washington can't allow to have happen. They can't give up points, an opportunity for them to go in and score, or even get a field goal. And the kicker is going to have a chance to come out there and possibly put 3 more on the board for the Trojans.
Abrams, 6 of 12. Again, his longest is 39 yards. Out of the shotgun, first down, Otten. Across the middle, has a man, incomplete. Billy Miller was wide open. And that's what John Robinson was telling us yesterday. They are dropping passes that should be caught.
Well, they need to throw the ball down the field. That's what this Trojan offense likes to do to complement the running game that they like to establish. And Chris Miller and Billy Miller on that play, they haven't been able to come up with receptions down the field. That would have certainly set him up for field goal range if he had come up with a pass. Otten, they've got good protection in front of him. Otten throws the ball right on the money.
He's got to make that catch. He came back to the huddle complaining it was behind him. But when you're wearing the same number 3 Keyshawn Johnson wore, you've got to make that catch. You need fly paper hands. .10 seconds still remain. Brad Otten still not in Abrams' field goal range. Will try to get another play off before they bring on Abrams. Having a shotgun again. Abrams is hit as he throws, and this is incomplete. Intended for Miller again. Good pressure by David Ritchie on Otten. Loaded up the 8-man front. Ritchie came through with a good power move and got to Otten. So Abrams will now come on and attempt his longest field goal of the year.
David Ritchie inside and Jason Chorek on the outside. Watching the bottom on the right side of your screen. Chorek is on the outside, and he gets tackled by the tackle, but Ritchie comes on the inside, beats his blocker. Does a nice job putting pressure on the quarterback.
SC late getting guys on. 4 seconds on the clock. Now they try to get somebody off. It's the tight end Hall. All squared away. The snap. Not strong enough. Abrams can't get there. 44-yard attempt. And that'll end the half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, it's the Valvoline Halftime 98. John and Todd will bring you up to date on all the scores here at the Coliseum. It's 10-3 SC.
Washington is still able to run the football at 67 yards. To USC is only 34 on the rush. Okay, and as you said, the points off turnovers are big. 10 for Southern California and nothing for Washington.
Out of those 34 yards rushing for SC, 14 came on a scramble by Otten. Right now, let's go downstairs. Here's Todd.
Okay, the coaches both agree that it's obviously a defensive struggle. Jim Lambright says he wants his team to quit making mistakes, keep things simple on offense. That means give the ball to Corey Dillon. John Robinson figures it's going to be a defensive struggle, and he figures the team that wins out, that wears out first, is going to be the team that loses. He also feels that getting yards on first down, that's the key, and that's where they've stumbled so far.
All right, Todd, getting yards on first down is always the key. I'm sure Jim Lambright feels that way as well. Not sure defense is going to be the key. Both have played pretty well in the first half. I don't think either offense really has gotten going, has really gotten in sync. They hurt themselves as much as the defense stopping them.
You know, the drop passes and the turnovers is, just not a good way for an offense to get going. You can't get a rhythm. You can't set up the running game and the passing game the way you want to.
John Wales to kick off. R.J. Soward is deep along with Chris Miller. Soward is really dangerous. He's already returned 2 for touchdowns this year. Again, it's a short kick. Taken at the 12 by Miller. And he's taken down at the 25. That's what SC did in the first half.
Not a lot of success except for the turnovers. You see the touchdown there, on the interception early in the first quarter. Other than that, hadn't been a whole lot of continuity going in there. USC has had good field position to start most of their drives. A couple long drives though as well.
Just a gorgeous day. The Coliseum decked out in sunshine, fanfare this afternoon. Great day for college football. And Brad Otten brings him up first down and 10 at the 25. Play action. Plenty of time. Throws over the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Chris Miller. Good coverage by the secondary. Parrish was there first to knock it loose.
A good time given to Brad Otten by the offensive line. He throws the ball out there. Actually had a receiver to the outside that got knocked down, and so he had to wait on Miller to come all the way across the field before he released the football.
Otten 10 of 17, 96 yards in the touchdown.
Yeah, Otten's having to wait because his primary receiver was actually knocked down. And Miller, the ball's in there. Good job coming over the top by Parrish to knock the ball away.
Second down and 10. Miller in motion. The pitch to Washington. Washington again gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jerry Jensen was there first. He got help from Towns and Smith, and absolutely nothing is going for the SC running game.
Well, the Huskies are doing a pretty good job up front. They are bringing 7-8 guys to the line of scrimmage, and stringing out that running game for USC has not been that difficult for them. They've actually loaded up inside and done a pretty good job against this Trojan offense.
Coming into the game, Washington allowed 128 yards on the ground per game. That was 5th in the Pac-10. Today, out of those 34, Otten had 14. Third down and 9 at the 26. Again, play action. Otten steps up with time to Miller, incomplete. Not sure whether Miller dropped it or Parrish got a hand in there. I think Parrish got a hand in it and knocked it away.
Well, Otten threw it hard and outside, just like an inside fastball, but Parrish reaches around, I believe, and does knock the ball away to him. Take a look here. You see on the right side of your screen, after the play action, Otten's going to throw it hard to the outside, but Parrish gets around inside and might have got a finger on it before it goes to the receiver.
So Jim Wren will punt. Jerome Pathon is standing at the 30. It's a short punt. Pathon takes it on the run at midfield. And so Washington will have the ball first down at the 50, a 35-yard punt, a return of 9 yards. This day was 295 all-purpose yards against Oregon.
And we talked about Claiborne and Dillon meeting in the middle. Actually, Dillon has done a pretty good job running the ball, and Claiborne has had some problems stopping the run.
Claiborne, a true freshman. This time last year playing high school ball. Here comes Dillon, big hole, and Dillon drives his way across the 40, down to the 37-yard line for a first down. Finally, Sammy Knight with help from Pearsall, Claiborne, Morton, and Kelly.
Well, that's what this Washington offense likes to do, and they get up there, those big guys, big offensive line with Kreutz and Olsen and Lynn Johnson. Watch the right side of your screen here as Dillon just runs through. Good blocking by the offensive line, gives him a good running lane, and this is a big, strong tailback running through. Take a look here. Look at the hole opened up by the offensive line. Look at all the red shirts standing up, and these guys are pushing, making something happen for the Washington offense.
First down and 10 at the 38. Hewitt, timing pattern to his tight end Cleveland. He's got 7 more. Washington struggled offensively in the first half. Now looks to be in sync.
That's what they need to do, get a rhythm of running, passing. They want to run the ball hard and make that big offensive line work and settle down Hewitt. This is what happened for them in the first half. Had the one field goal after a drive starting at their own 11. That was a good long drive in the first quarter, but other than that, they haven't had a whole lot going for them.
This is the 69th meeting between these two schools, dating back to 1923. Of the 68 games played, 28 have been decided by a touchdown or less. Second down and 3. Here's the big low, Dillon. Again, breaking tackles and pushing the pile for a first down to the 26-yard line, a gain of 5. He now has 81 yards.
Corey Dillon is a load running through there. I tell you, arm tackles will not bring this guy down, and that's what they're doing right now with Southern California. They're trying to bring this guy down with an arm tackle. Watch Claiborne stop it right there. You see Claiborne 55. He's going to come in and have an opportunity to roll it right there. You know, he's just going to reach out and try to reach Dillon, grab him, and bring him down. Not going to get him down with an arm tackle.
Pathon at the top of the screen, the wide receiver. Here's Dillon again with a cutback inside the 20. He almost broke it. Tripped up by Claiborne, or he was gone. So 7 more for the 6'2", 225-pound junior.
Just line him up deep and let him read the hole. Just a stretch blocking by the offensive line. Good job of cutting back, and then again Claiborne misses another tackle, trying to throw at his legs and grab him. But Big Dillon, I tell you, that guy can bring it down the field.
I'd give Claiborne credit for that tackle. He tripped him or he was gone. So it's second down and 4. Jim Lambright wanted big yardage on first down. He's getting it now. Here's Dillon. Oh, he's met immediately. Willie Lowry got there first, the defensive end. Lowry, underrated but effective.
Lowry, Russell, and Claiborne all met in the middle that time on Dillon. Did a good job there stopping, on second down. Bring up a big, important third down here for the Southern California defense.
Lowry having a big game, got a hand on that field goal attempt, blocked that. He's got 4 first hits this afternoon. Third down and 4. That play was stopped, blown dead before it was snapped. You have to like Dillon's style, still took it to the end zone.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
The Huskies are killing themselves.
Yeah, self-destruct, drop passes, interceptions, penalties. Those are things that Jim Lambright can't afford to have his offense have. He's got a young quarterback, but he's got a good running game going. Anytime you have the ball, moving it down the field, Tim, with a combination of running and passing is what you want to do, but you can't self-destruct with a penalty.
Look at him shaking his head in disgust. 6 penalties this afternoon. Had a field goal block. Passes dropped. Third down and 8, ball of the 24. Three receivers. Ewart across the middle of the tight end. He's close to a first down. Cameron Cleland looking for a good mark here. He's got one. They mark it near the 15. That should be enough for the first down. John Robinson out on the field. He's beside himself.
Regardless of the spot, Randy Hart, offensive coordinator from Washington, called a good play that time. He stretched the field, brought the Southern California defense out across the field, and then Cleveland comes across the middle with a nice job there. Watch the left side of the screen. Cleveland's going to go to the yard marker. Hewer does a nice job getting to him. The big tight end's a good target. Does a good job of getting the play with Kelly on the stop. Cleveland does a nice job, and Kelly just three Trojans just knock him back, but he had enough for the first down.
3 catches this afternoon for Cleveland. Here's Dillon, right side, big hole, down near the 10 to the 11-yard line. Stopped by Russell and Lowry.
This Washington offensive line team is really starting to pick it up. Olsen and Dolan up there on the front. They're doing a good job giving some holes for Corey Dillon to run through. See what he's done on this drive alone. 28 yards. 5.6 yards average. That's big time. For Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator from Washington. Doing a good job here early in the second half of picking his spots and getting Corey Dillon on track.
999 yards for Dillon. Second down. And again, flags fly.
Prior to snap, ball start on the offense, 5 yards.
That's 7 penalties. Look at Lambright.
He just throws his microphone up, doesn't know what's going on in this.
For most of you coming up next, it's the second game of our college football doubleheader. San Diego State and San Jose State. That's on ABC Sports. Then next Saturday at 12:30 Pacific, the Gridiron Greats are on ABC. Our Pac-10 game pairs Washington State and UCLA. You'll also see Air Force and Army. Check your local listings for the game on your ABC station, and the game's available from your cable operator next Saturday. Again, whistles blow, timeout taken. SC wants a timeout. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the third period. The ball's on the 17. We'll take a break as well. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Huskies. College football on ABC Sports is brought to you by the Ford Motor Company, where quality is job one, and United Airlines and its more than 50,000 employee owners. Come fly our friendly skies. 9:10 to play, third quarter. 10-3 SC, but the Huskies are threatening. Second down and 12 at the 17. Heward looks, scores, touchdown, Paython. Jerome Paython working against Haslett. Slipped inside on the post, 17-yard strike from Heward. And Washington has its first touchdown of the afternoon. John Wales comes on to add the bonus. Blocked. Brent Pearsall comes up with the big play, and SC still leads by a point.
Good reception by Payton on the touchdown. He just does a nice little post move. He's got man coverage, and Pearsall comes up on the outside. Watch the left side of the screen. He's going to jump inside the outside wing blocker, 43 Pearsall, and he's going to get his hands out in front. Does a nice job of splitting the wing on the outside.
Third block today. They blocked a punt, a field goal, and an extra point.
Al Roberts, special team coach, he's upset about the block there, but I know they're excited about getting a touchdown. That's something that you work on every day in practice, blocking for extra points and field goals.
He's got to be concerned, though, Gary. 3 blocks today: punt, field goal, and extra point. And they've had problems with the snaps.
Let's talk about their offense. Washington has done a pretty good job. They got the ball at the 50-yard line, took it down for the touchdown. Good blend of passing and running the football. Got them on track here early in the third quarter.
So John Wales will kick off for Washington. R.J. Soward and Chris Miller are deep for SC. Standing at their 10. Again, it's a high pooch kick. Touches Soward. And the Trojans get it back. Recovered by Soward.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, Washington. They're trying to do a little pooch kick. Keep it away from Soward. Actually, that ball landed right in front of Miller. Miller should have come up and received that ball.
Soward recovered it. And it'll be marked at the 18, but take another look at it.
Yeah, they're trying to do a sky kick, and that's what they're doing. They're bringing it up so that Soward on the right side of the screen can't get it, but Miller has to receive that ball. Soward does a nice job of making the recovery for the Trojans.
So it'll be first down and 10 at the 18. 9:03 to play third period. Walters comes into the ball game, and Walters is the setback. The ball's loose again. Woods put it on the ground. Woods recovered it.
Boy, it looked like that came right through Brad Otten's hands, maybe even through his legs to the fullback.
It's the third time Heimbach and Otten have missed on this snap.
Just watch this. The ball comes right between Otten's legs. Kind of unusual to go all the way back to the fullback on a missed snap.
Second down, they need 14. Backside pressure on Otten, and he's sacked. Fiala comes up with the ball. Washington says they have it. No signal from the officials.
Well, Tim, the sack was a coverage sack. Only two men go out on the route. They were in a slot receiver out here, and both receivers ran into each other. Otten had nowhere to throw it.
He didn't have any time to throw it. They came on the blitz with Jensen and Campbell, and before he could even set, they had him for a loss of 8. So it'll be third down and 22 with the ball on the 7. Washington fans are in the end zone behind SC, and I mean they are making some noise. Otten is a little bit shaken up. He'll go see the trainers.
Talk about Brad earlier in the game. Otten had that play at the end of the game last week against Washington State where he was tackled and he had a problem with his neck.
So Otten goes out of the ball game and Matt Koffler comes in. Koffler, of course, threw that 97-yard touchdown bomb to Soward at Illinois. That went into the record books. But to be honest, Matt Koffler has not played very often.
Yeah, but the coaches like him. They call him a football junkie. He's a pretty smart guy. He's been around this program a long time.
Third and 22. Walters, not much. He may have lost yardage. So it'll be fourth down, and SC will have to punt.
Tim, I think it's only the second time that Otten's been knocked to the ground today. They're looking at something on the lower extremity here.
He was sacked, got a lot of pressure from Jensen and Campbell. Jim Wren staying all the way back by the back of the end zone, and Wren gets off a wobbler. And they'll let this one hit. It'll go out at midfield. A 43-yard punt. So with 6:51 to play third period, it's 10-9 SC. But the Huskies now threatening. A look at Brad Otten. Was injured when he was sacked, went out for one play. Here's the play. Campbell and Jensen came hard.
Yeah, they just sandwich him, and the pile goes underneath, and Otten has a leg actually wrapped back underneath himself. He's up on the sideline moving around. Hopefully things are okay for Brad Otten.
6:51 to play in the third period. Washington has turned things around, righted itself, got some offense going, and now has great field position on first down at midfield. Here's Dillon. And Dillon goes over 1,000 yards for the season and picks up 4 before Dalen McCutcheon makes the tackle. Right now, let's take you back to New York. Here's John Saunders. Here, hope we don't get any of that snow. Beautiful 70 degrees at the LA Coliseum. Hewitt with a 3-step drop goes on a timing pattern, and Pathon never looks. Jerome Pathon still hadn't looked at the football.
Miscommunication that time between quarterback and receiver, and Pathon didn't even think he was going to get the ball thrown at him. He never even turned around. Brock Hewitt's a little confused, and Pathon's going back to the huddle wondering, was that my ball, or what am I supposed to do here?
Brock Hewitt, a redshirt freshman, great high school quarterback, and has been impressive in the college ranks as a freshman. Traditional pocket passer, powerful arm, 4.0 student, coach's son, facing 3rd and 5 at the 45 here. Backside pressure, throws deep to his tight end, incomplete. Cameron Cleland was open and Hewitt overthrew him. Mark Casano came in and leveled Hewitt after the pass, so Hewitt knows he was there.
Cleland was open, Tim. He got a good move to the outside, little shallow flag pattern. Hewitt lays it out in front of him, but just a little bit too far. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball and does a nice job of getting rid of it, but just a little bit too far for Cleland to reach out and grab that one.
Hamid Sarshar will punt. We've told you about this punting game, this special teams all day. Jerry Jensen has had some problems with the snap. It's a fake. They've got the first down. It's Kissel. Inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Cam Kissel. A gain of 20, tackled by Chad Morton. The special teams come up with a big play.
Watch the right side of the screen. We're going to have a down block here, and Kissel comes around the blocker, does a nice job of reading the blocks, and then it's just him and the returner now. Good opportunistic fake punt there for Washington.
If you can't kick, fake. First down at the 25. Dillon again off the guard and tackle. Chris Claiborne with the tackle. Cam Kissel rather, has the big block on the play.
There's Al Robertson. Finally might put a smile on his face. Something good in the kicking game finally.
Arizona State leading by a point in the 3rd quarter. Talking with the Washington coaches yesterday, certainly they're still thinking co-championship. Washington hoping to win out, hoping they get some help and Arizona State loses. It would be a co-championship, although Arizona State would still go to the Rose Bowl. Here's Dillon. George Perry was there to stop him.
Yeah, Timmy, but the play was made by Sammy Knight coming from the outside. Does a nice job of knifing in there from the outside from his position as outside linebacker. Almost lined up as an outside linebacker that play. Came inside, got a hand on Dillon, disrupted his movement. Watch Knight here on the right side of the screen. He's just going to come from the outside. Dillon's going to take a little half step back to the inside, and Knight's going to be on there beyond him before he can even make a cut. That actually disrupts Dillon, makes him run back into the heart of the Trojan defense.
Knight switched to linebacker this year. He's been starting as a strong safety the last 2 years. Here's Hewitt going to the corner. 3rd down and 8. It's caught. Jerome Pathon to the 2-yard line. There is a flag down. They were working on Kenny Haslip.
I think when they sort this out, they're going to see that Kenny Haslip had Pathon's jersey at about the 15-yard line. And I tell you, that was a heck of a catch by Pathon. Off of the contact, working to the outside, and Hewitt's going to throw the ball outside. I don't know if we'll see the contact here. It happened a little bit before that, and Pathon does a nice job of adjusting on the catch. He has the catch, has the foot inbound.
A gain of 22.
On the defense, penalty refused. First down. So
Jim Fogeltans tells the bad news to John Robinson. And and everybody else that wants to listen in the LA Coliseum. It's against SC. They move the ball all the way to the 1. It'll be first and goal at the 1.
If there's any question in your mind, Corey Dillon's going to get this football. Pound it in.
4 minutes, 12 seconds to play, third period. First and goal to 1. Dillon, right side. Touchdown, Washington. And the Husky faithful are standing.
Watch the touchdown here. Corey Dillon's just going to get his pads a little bit lower than the other guys. I tell you what, Southern Cal does not do a good job of getting in there to stop him. Dillon, a big, strong tailback for the touchdown.
So it makes it 15-10, Washington. And the Huskies are going to go for 2. Brock Heward stays on the field. Trying to make it a 7-point ball game. Heward. Incomplete. It was intended for Janoski, but Janoski came across the middle, and Heward threw to the outside.
Well, Tim, this whole drive was set up on the 4th down play where Jim Lambright actually calls a fake punt. That's where we had Kissel come in and picks up a big first down on the 4th down play, lining up to punt. That's a coach's call. It's a head coach's decision to do that, and it's an opportune time for them to do it. Here's a look at the extra point try. Ball must have come off of Heward's hand. It just went behind the receivers and everybody. They never had a chance for that one.
It was so far off, I thought he misread him, but it was a poor throw. I think he read it correctly and just couldn't get it there. So it's a 5-point game with 4:07 to play third period. Clouds starting to roll in over the LA Coliseum. Penn State big over Northwestern in the snow. So Miller and Soward will be deep for SC. John Wales will kick off. They've kicked away from Soward all afternoon. This is another high short kick that is taken at the 30 by the up man. Fumbled, and Washington may have gotten. SC got it back. Marvin Powell fumbled the ball, and SC did get it back. Oh my. Let's go downstairs. Here's Todd.
Okay, Brad Ott is back in the football game. He just tweaked his knee. If you'll notice, he does wear a brace on his left knee. Just tweaked it a little bit. That's why he came out in the last series, but he's back in there for this one.
They need him in there, too. He graduated from platooner to Rose Bowl hero last January. Went 29 of 44, saving his best game of his life for one of his biggest, the Rose Bowl. First down and 10 at the 32. Here he is. This is to Walters. Walters breaks a tackle. Cuts inside the midfield. Sean Walters finally stopped by Tony Parrish after a game of 18.
Well, Tim, that was a play to have called against a blitz. Washington did blitz that time. Otten sees the blitz. Aliaga has him, but it gets the ball over the top of him, out to the receiver on the outside. Does a nice job on this call. Matches up for it. Walters does a nice job running the football.
First down, midfield. Otten with backside pressure, throws incomplete. Good coverage by Miller. Rodney Sherman's had the ball thrown behind him. They got tangled up, and the ball was not catchable.
Yeah, there's good coverage all over the field that time, Timmy.
This is fun. And you want a bird's eye view, you've got it. The MetLife Blimp. Snoopy 2 has teamed up with ABC to provide an aerial view of the LA Coliseum today. The MetLife Blimp does not require a home base. It is constantly on the road, logging over 60,000 miles a year. almost as many as Malibu Kelly Hayes, who now lives in Aspen. John Mabry. Again, a big hole for Walters. And the 230-pound Walters rambles down to the 41. Take you back to New York, and here's John Saunders. And go to the big fellow, Walters. Flags flying, Walters down to the 37. Showing Walters 6 feet, 230 pounds. He was out the first 5 games, agent involved. He needs 93 yards to move into USC's all-time top 10 rushing list out of Arlington, Texas. And this will be against SC. John Robinson and Jim Lambright, 2 outstanding coaches, know the importance of this game. They're playing for outright second place in the Pac-10 and the bowl benefits that come with that.
And John's trying to figure out what happened here on this offensive line. He's going to get a penalty, a call.
Illegal formation on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Now it brings up a big 3rd and 6. They had 3rd and 1 opportunity for a first down, and now they're going to probably have to go to the air with Otten throwing the football.
Brad Otten, big, strong, talented leader. Wears his heart on his sleeve. A mature, married guy now in charge. 3rd down and 6 at the 46. They spread the field. There's pressure coming, and it's sacked. Ink Aliaga with the sack.
That's a big play for the Huskies, Tim. Aliaga on the blitz from the outside does a nice job of getting in there on Otten before he has a chance to throw the football. Watch from the right side of the screen. You're going to see Aliaga just do a loop stunt inside, and he's on Otten before he has a chance to throw the ball. Good job by Washington on the pass rush that time.
3rd sack of the day, a loss of 11. SC has to punt. Pathon tries to clear everybody away from it as it rolls dead at about the 25. 32-yard punt. Still have 1:58 to play in the 3rd period. Pretty good ball game. The LA Coliseum.
Well, Jim Lambright has to be happy about his defense stopping there, but John Robinson with that penalty putting him back to 3rd and 6. I tell you, he's going to be very disappointed about that with the execution on his offense.
Arizona State now up 22-14.
Say Arizona State, Tim, is a team that whenever Jake Plummer's on the field, they think they can win the ball game. Always coming from behind.
And that game, of course, very, very important to everybody in the Pac-10, but Washington wants to win out, obviously, and hope Arizona State trips along the way for co-champions. There's Dillon again. Now, obviously, if Washington is a co-champion in the Pac-10, they still would not be able to go to the Rose Bowl because of the head-to-head loss with Arizona State. But as Jim Lambright was saying yesterday, each one of these guys in purple would get a championship ring. They would get a trophy. And obviously be able to recruit saying that we are the champs of the Pac-10.
They would share the championship in the Pac-10, and that's important to them as far as the recruiting angle is. And for the guys on the field, I mean, for them to all wear rings, like you say, Timmy, it's a big, big boost to that Washington program if that were to happen.
Janoski and Pathon come to the bottom of the screen. 2nd down and 4. Ewart straight ahead to Dillon. Big hole. Pulls his way. Carrying tacklers. Across the 37 for the first down. Dillon now with 110 yards. He has gone over 1,000 for the season.
Tim, they're playing a lot today with a couple of tight ends, and Corey Dillon's getting some good blocking from Kissel inside. He works inside from his U-back position and lead blocks on the linebacker.
This is what he's done for the year, Gary. And you talk about a guy that's been on a tear. The last 2 games, he's gone over 404 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, almost 500 yards all-purpose coming into this game, and add another 110 to that. Dillon to the 46.
And I think the most important thing on the last graphic was that every time Corey Dillon touches the ball for this offense, he's gaining 5.6 yards a carry, and that's very impressive. Anytime you can hand it to a running back and think you can get 5 or 6 yards, I'll tell you, an offensive quarter, that's his dream.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6, the ball at the 41-yard line. As the 3rd quarter winds down, 22 seconds. And again, there's movement. It looked like Kennelly jumped off too early. Matt Kennelly, senior out of Laguna Hills, California.
Heward makes that hard count.
Prior to snap, all sides, on the defense, 5 yards.
Boy, that is unusual. Kennelly is a very heady player, academic All-American, very smart individual, usually very disciplined. Carries a 3.7 grade point average. Sounds like Gary Reasons.
I don't know about that. He's in public administration. He might even go into politics, Tim. Football player in politics. We ever heard of that before?
Look at the rushing comparison. 22 yards for SC. And that'll do it. That's the end of the third quarter. So as the clouds start to roll in over the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Huskies seemingly in control right now. We'll return with more action between Washington and SC after this message and a word from our ABC stations. (15-10) Washington as we begin the fourth quarter. Brock Heward with play action looks to the sidelines and overthrows the intended receiver Jerome Pathon. Homecoming for Troy. We've had a good look at Traveler running around the field today. Traveler 4.
Take a look at what's happened in the third quarter and throughout the game. Look at the total yardage here by Washington. They're doing a lot on the ground and being able to move the football. They do have the 2 turnovers, but so far it looks like Washington's taking control of this game in the third quarter.
Dillon straight ahead, close to the first down. He needed a yard on third. Kennelly and Sammy Knight got there first, and I mean they tagged the big guy. This will be close. SC stopped them.
It's a big confidence builder, Tim, for SC, for them to be able to stop that potent offense. These two guys, just watch them just hammer into the line of scrimmage, and Sammy Knight does a nice job of heading it right up on big Corey Dillon.
Amin Sarshar then will punt. Again, a shaky snap. It's a spiraling punt, but it's short. And Morton Bear catches it at the 25. So with 14:09 to play, it's a 5-point game. Play a 5-point game. Let's go down on the field to Todd Donahoe.
Well, the Washington defensive coaches have told their team they've got the run stop. USC can't run against them. So look in this fourth quarter now for the defense not to hang along that line of scrimmage, but to peel their ears back and go hard pass rush Brad Ott.
There's a look at Randy Hart, the defensive coordinator, and he has had him stopped. 6 yards in the third quarter. That's it. Here's Ott. Steps up in the pocket and drills it. It's dropped. R.J. Soward just dropped it.
Tim, this is what's happened to this team all year long. They have dropped ball after ball after ball. I tell you, the Miller's on the outside, and now R.J. getting into the picture, dropping a pass. John Robinson can't be very happy about his receiver core right now. Brad Otten's done a pretty good job, I think, of stepping up into the pocket and doing a good job of throwing the ball on the money.
John just shaking his head. He talked to us yesterday about the passes that have been dropped. Jensen with great pressure on Otten, but that ball was perfectly thrown.
Well, R.J. Soward, I tell you, when he gets his hands on the ball, he's a big playmaker, and he needs to catch balls like that.
So it'll be second down and 10 from the 25. Draw play. Walters breaks 2 tackles and enters the net. Hank Aliaga, 6'2", 230 pounds. Walters, 225, and that was a collision.
Yeah, he ain't really tattooed him that time. I tell you, Aliaga's a pretty good player. They've taken him out of the middle this year. They've put Towns and Fiala playing in the middle. They want Aliaga to be able to play a little more to the outside coverage. He's a better cover backer than those other two. Does a nice job of coming up on a big fullback that time, making the play.
Sermons and Walters go out of the game. LaVale Woods comes in along with Chris Miller. It'll be third down and 11 from the 24. Otten feels the pressure. Now throws. Miller's open. There's a flag down in the backfield, and I believe this is going to be called back for holding. Jason Chorick called holding. And Jim Fogeltance, the referee, agreed with him.
Well, I think they caught Bowen that time, the big tackle on the outside, just taking down Chorak. John Robbins saying, what else can go wrong for my Trojan offense? Watch the left side of your screen, and you're going to see, here's Bowen, big 74. He's got, Chorak is just going to take him down around the head. That is holding. That's a takedown. Good call by the officials. You see him throw the flag. Another look at it here. You can see he's got the arm around the neck, and that's going to be called every time as holding by an offensive tackle.
You know, in the offseason, Ken Bowen is a security guard, protects celebrities, protected Muhammad Ali during a memorabilia convention here not too long ago. Most improved player on the team. He's trying to protect Otten, but that time was called for holding.
Big guy, 6'8", 320. He's done a pretty good job so far. I tell you, Chorak's a pretty good pass rusher from the outside. He got 11 sacks, and he's just doing his job to protect that quarterback team.
He's becoming the monster they recruited him for, but it brings up 3rd down and 27. Otten goes deep. Intended for Soward, and it looked like it was well thrown.
R.J. Soward has that sprinter speed. We asked how fast he was, and the coaches really couldn't tell us. He's probably 4.4, 4.3 or better. Tell you, Otten just lays it out there in front of him and does a nice job of getting the ball out there. And
this ball looked catchable.
It does. I think Soward got turned around. He was looking for the ball to the inside, and then he turned to the outside. I think he lost a beat on it.
A little bit overthrown. So Jim Wren punting from his own end zone. A low wobbler. Faithon at the 47. Breaks a tackle. Back to the 40, the 39-yard line. The Huskies starting to penetrate deep in SC territory. 45-yard punt, 13-yard return. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. By Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. As we look at the skyline of Los Angeles, downtown in all its glory, gorgeous day in Southern California. Temperature right around 70 degrees when this game began. A few clouds rolling in now off the sea, but it has been gorgeous. 1st down and 10, the ball at the 40. 12:42 to play. This is Dillon, and he has been a star today. Two of the best teams in the ACC square off as Darrell Bush and the 2nd-round defense of Florida State trying to stop the running game of C.J. Williams and the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Florida State and Georgia Tech live, 4 o'clock Pacific, only on ESPN. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Huskies. Dillon, the lone setback, and he's been the workhorse. Here he is again, left side. Tries to push the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, still moving, close to the 1st down. Is he alone?
Well, he's alone, and that offensive line is alone. That's what these guys do with Washington. They just push and push and push, and a big tailback behind them does a good job of pushing the pile and picking up 5 or 6 yards.
Mark Cassano, the strong linebacker, finally made the tackle. A little bit shaken up afterwards, however, and that happens when you tackle Dillon. Arizona State still leaving Oregon State.
A wedding on the grounds, Tim?
What a day. What a day. Who's going to be the bride? Who's going to be the bridesmaid? This one is Dillon. 1st down, Huskies.
It's going to be close on the spot, though, I think, Tim.
Dillon now over 123 yards for the afternoon. He's over 1,000 for the season. Bring out the chains for the measurement. 11:04 to play in the game. 1st down, Washington. So much talk this week about what took place last year. The big early lead by Washington, and USC coming back in the fourth quarter with 21 points to tie it 21-21. Take the inside track all the way to the Rose Bowl.
Corey Dillon's done today, 123 yards. Tell you, a big workhorse tailback. We said that at the top of the show coming in, and he's really done a nice job for this Washington offense.
First down at the 30. Dillon. Tough 2 yards. Boy, Pearsall and Kelly came flying in from the safety position to make the tackle. As you look at Keith Burns, defensive coordinator for SC.
It's been a long day for him trying to figure out how to stop this Washington offense, especially Corey Dillon. We talked with him yesterday, and he felt he's going to have to bring a lot of guys up to the line of scrimmage, and they have all day. But Dillon's just a strong guy and be able to run through and watch the safeties come up and really put themselves on the pile there. It's going to take all 11 hats to get Dillon down sometimes.
Keith Burns, former player, competitive guy. Gave him one heck of a talk while we were away in commercial during timeout. Under 10 minutes to play, Hewitt steps up, throws into coverage to his tight end, Cleland, incomplete.
That was good coverage that time by Claiborne. He had coverage on the tight end. So that's what they wanted to be able to have. That's one of the things that Claiborne, they felt like he had to become better at as a defender in the pass coverage area. Claiborne, the linebacker, the freshman. Watch it here. He's going to have coverage on the tight end. Just kind of walls him out from the inside. Does a nice job of getting out there and knocking the ball away.
It'll bring up third down and long. Washington has struggled on third down conversions. This will be just over 9 yards. You see what they've done, 4 to 9 yards on third down conversions. Less than 50% conversion rate. They spread the field. 5-step drop for Hewitt. Looks to the corner. Tight end is there. Cleland! Complete.
Pass is complete. Cameron Cleland.
Knocked out at the 3. Cleland with a marvelous catch. Tyeska knocked him out of bounds. But that throw by Hewitt was perfect.
It really was. And Cleland's had a pretty big day. Little wheel route that time by Corey Dillon to the outside, and all the defenders went with him. Cleland worked to the outside. Nice job by Dillon. Nice job by Hewitt throwing the ball all the way outside. Look at this adjustment here by the tight end. Gets his hands on the ball, hauls it in. Good job on the reception.
Gain of 25 yards. First and goal, Washington at the 2. Here comes Dillon. Met immediately by Claiborne. Mark Matak and Claiborne just drilled him. No secret what Washington does when he gets down close. It's going to be Dillon, and more Dillon.
Well, just a straight head dive plan. Claiborne scrapes to the outside, puts a hat on his hat, and he's got his buddies coming. Here's Claiborne just scraping the play, defeats the blocker, and he gets a nice hit on the running back. And like I said, his Trojan buddies are there to help.
Second down and goal from the 3. This time they put a lead blocker, Fiallo, in front of Dillon. Here's Dillon on the corner. Touchdown, Washington. And Dillon took Claiborne in the end zone with him.
Well, that was one heck of a collision at the end zone, at the goal line with Dillon and the Claiborne. Take a look here. You're going to see Dillon. Just a little pitch play here by Hewitt. Just a little option, something they're not used to doing. And watch now, Claiborne is man on man, and he gives Claiborne all he can handle. Claiborne comes to the outside. He's got a good lick on him. But I tell you, Dillon's one of those tough, strong tailbacks. He just runs right through that tackle.
Corey Dillon's 14th touchdown. That puts him in a tie with Napoleon Kaufman, who had 14 touchdowns. Rashawn Sheehy still number 1 on the all-time Washington list with 15. But we still have 8:57 to play. Huskies going for 2. Blitz coming. Hewitt to the corner. Pathan incomplete.
2-point conversion attempt is no good.
So with 8:57 to play in the ball game, Washington advances its lead to 11. It's 21-10. Husky.
I think that power surge might have hit Otten right in the back, and that was Jensen on the rush from the outside.
ABC Sports also experienced that power surge hit, that power hit, and now we're down to one camera and the blimp camera. So MetLife, glad I met you.
Carrying the show.
Here's Otten. Again, there's pressure on Otten. Breaks out, throws over the middle, incomplete. And his tight end, Jeff Diltz, was open. Tough play for Otten, though.
Well, the Huskies are coming, Tim. They've got their ears back, and I tell you, they're looking to get in there on the quarterback when he's throwing the football now. They know that he has to throw the ball down the field to make something happen, so the pass rush is coming, and this this USC offensive line has to do a good job of protecting Brad. And he hasn't had a very good day, 11 of 23, but he has had some drops, and he did have the one touchdown on the turnover early in the first quarter.
A concerned John Robinson. 8:14 to go. I think there's concern not only by the officials as they look at the clock. The scoreboard was hit for a second, but also Brad Otten going back out of the ball game, and Matt Kofler comes back in. Otten, who was shaken up earlier, was hit hard there as he released the ball to Diltz. Another hard hit by Jerry Jensen, the linebacker for Washington. So it's third down, they need 18. Kofler again under pressure, and there's Jensen. Jerry Jensen again on the sack. And SC quarterbacks have been sacked 5 times this afternoon.
Maybe Randy Hart is bringing the kitchen sink against his Trojan offense. He's going to blitz them, make them stop and make that quarterback throw the ball. He feels like his cornerbacks can cover to the outside. They're doing a good job of that, allowing them to rush the passer relentlessly.
Just like Todd was telling us earlier, stop the run, and they have. They've also stopped the pass. Here's a short punt that will hit and roll back to the 47-yard line. So with 7:33 to play, timeout on the field. We'll take one as well after a 34-yard punt. Piloted by Snoopy today, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. Today, rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy enjoying college football between Washington and SC, and boy, do we need them. Glad to have them along. Because of the power surge, we're left with one camera and those spectacular views from MetLife. Also, I understand that we're having problems with our pictures since that power hit. That was weird. All the lights in the stadium went out. Here's Hewitt. Hewitt gives it to Reed, and he stopped by Sammy Knight. Now we've got our cameras back. Great work by our technicians trying to keep things in line after that power hit. Still working on the picture. Bear with us. All right, guys, here's the trivia question. Besides the horse, Traveler, USC had another animal as a mascot. What was it?
I think we better ask Kennelly.
I'll get to it after this. Second down and 11. Hewitt with plenty of time throws again to Cleveland. Incomplete. You guys know? It was a dog, a mutt, named George Tirebiter. Used to chase cars around the USC campus in 1940 and used to come to all the games, and they adopted it as a mascot. It was kidnapped by UCLA in 1947 and, of all things, killed by a car, run over. Tirebiter.
Tirebiter, only in LA, I'll tell you.
Third down and 11 for Washington. Here's Reed to the 45, not nearly enough for the first. Washington will have to punt. 6:41 to play in the game.
Well, that whole series, Corey Dillon was out of the backfield for the Huskies.
A lot of pressure on Coach Roberts, the special teams coach for Washington.
Nothing has come easy for the Huskies today in the kicking game, Tim. 4 snaps, 4 kicks, blocks.
SC has had great success against the special teams of Washington. The Trojans need a big play here with 6:11 to go. Again, a poor snap, and there's pressure. And a poor punt. But Morton lets it hit, and it rolls inside the 5 all the way to the 1. Boy, the 4 don'ts of the kicking game. Don't be all sides, don't rough the kicker, don't let the ball hit the ground, and don't clip. They broke one of those rules there, let the ball hit the ground, and it rolled all the way to the 1.
Well, for a struggling USC offense, I tell you, it's not good field position to start with. 99 yards to go, and they need a touchdown. There's no doubt about it. They've got to get back into this ball game. They're not very good field position at all, to say the least. I tell you, a kick returner has to make that catch, has to stop the ball from going all the way down to the 1 yard line.
SC in the second half, -9 yards. And the whistle blows before this one snapped. Otten is back in the ball game, so Brad Otten is in for the final 5:56. John Robinson hopes.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, half the distance.
Look at a very concerned John Robinson. Monday at 6 Pacific, the Denver Broncos, with their AFC best 7-1 record, head to Oakland to battle the Raiders on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. That's live at 6 Pacific right here on ABC Sports. First down, straight ahead, barely gets out of the end zone on Washington.
And that Washington defense has to score, and they do.
Washington gets the safety. Minus 10 yards in the second half.
Minus 10 for sure, and Randy Hart calls a blitz on that play and stops him in the backfield. We got some flags on the field there.
Nice job, fellas. Nice job. Nice job. Get in there.
Here's Jim Lambright in the back yelling, "Nice job, fellas," as the Washington defense comes off the field. Still a discussion. Jim Fogeltant's the referee. The umpire is Walt Wolf. Jim Rennie is the head linesman. Mike Batlin is the line judge. Trying to get an explanation. Jim Lambright still looks concerned.
Well, they called the safety, so I expect that they would give him the 2 points, but maybe this is after the play.
They put 2 points on the board. It's 23-10.
As you can see here, a lot of penetration by the Washington defense. Smith does a nice job of wrapping him up, and Aliaga tops it off.
Still a discussion going on.
We've got one of the line judges holding a foot in front of the goal line, and maybe he thinks that he had called him down outside of the end zone.
There is no safety. There's no safety. The ball was ruled to be forward progress in the field of play. Forward progress in the field of play.
Forward progress in the field of play. When is the last time you've seen a score given and taken back by the officials?
I have never seen it, and Jim Lambright I don't think has seen it. His defense does a good job of penetration, and they stop him here, and he's down, and one official to the sideline does call safety. We take another look at it. See if we can see if the ball goes down. We can't see the line.
Now there is a personal foul ruled against the defense. So instead of the safety, they take the points off the board. It's back to an 11-point lead, and with the personal foul, SC will have the ball out at the 15-yard line. 2 gigantic calls by the officials. And Jim Lambright is upset, and who would blame him?
A little breathing room, though, for Southern California. An opportunity to keep going in this fourth quarter.
Otten on first down, looks deep, throws. Got Miller incomplete. Broken up by Mel Miller. So Miller on Miller. And Mel breaks it up from Chris.
Tim, you talked about earlier in the show that Mel Miller, one of the freshman cornerbacks out there, had to come up big this year. That was a concern defensively. As you can see, he does a nice job here, has good position, just knocks it away from Chris Miller. good coverage. You know, I don't know why he doesn't put the other hand up and actually make the interception.
What a turn of events. They give him a safety, take it off the board, take the safety away, call unnecessary roughness, and move it out to the 15. Otten's pass to Sermons is incomplete, and again, Brad Otten takes a terrific hit, this time from Jason Chorek.
I don't think Otten's very stable. Anytime he goes down, he's prone to possibly coming out. He had the problem at Oregon State last week. Still got the shaky left knee.
Time now a factor with 5.5 minutes to play. Let's go downstairs. Here's Todd.
Well, Lester Towns, inside linebacker of Washington, was ejected on that play. They just said it was a personal foul, and so he'll be sitting the rest of the afternoon on the bench.
So Towns. 10 for SC. Otten one of his last 11 passes, and Chorek takes him down at the 1. The 6th sack of the afternoon for Washington.
Jason Chorek has spent the afternoon in that backfield, giving fits to the Southern California offense, and he's a tough guy to block, Timmy. He's been behind the line of scrimmage a lot this year. Watch him to the left side, a little stunt. He comes inside, and the back is having to get him, and just an outstretched hand there by Chorek gets Otten for the sack.
Jim Wren at punt formation.
So they'll have to punt, and Wren is standing by the back line of the end zone. This is a good one. Payton at the 49, to the 40, to the 35, to the 34-yard line. And there's another flag. Never did get Payton down. He's a tough little rascal. Terrific ball game. It's had everything. Bad plays, bad penalties, blocked kicks.
Points off the board.
But some awfully good plays. This is holding against SC. Take a look at the sights and sounds of the afternoon. Four minutes and 40 seconds remain in the game. It'll be first down as they move him back after the penalty.
Way out there, let's go.
What a terrific game by Jason Chorek. He led the team with 16.5 tackles for losses, 70 yards. Leads the Huskies, came into the game with 11 sacks. He's got 2 here this afternoon. And that puts him right behind Ron Holmes on the all-time list. Holmes, way back in 1983, had 13 sacks for the year.
Chorek
is right with it.
Yeah, he's made a mark on this defense as one of the best players at that position in the Pac-10 this year, and I'm sure Jim Lambright is pleased about his play today.
So it's first down Washington, the ball at the 24. This is Reed as Dillon gets a breather. Reed bangs his way down to the 21-yard line. A gain of 3. Time now a serious factor for SC.
And this is the second consecutive series that Reed has been in for Dillon. Here's what Corey has done today. That's a record, 37 carries, new school record, and pretty good day, 128 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Just a workmanlike day for Corey Dillon.
And over 1,000 yards now for the season.
He's still got it strapped on, though, Tim. He's ready to go at any time. He'd take one more carry, I'm sure.
Second down and 7. To the 18-yard line. How about Brock Heward? Brock Heward got off to a shaky start today, but the redshirt freshman pulled it together and has led Washington very nicely.
Brock has done a pretty good job. He had some balls dropped early in the game, if you remember. Janoski, Payton both dropped balls, and he's 13 of 28 today, 132 yards. Had a pretty good day. Shows a lot of poise out there for a quarterback. His dad is a high school coach, and his brother, what he did here, or did at University of Washington. Brock Heward is the future of this Washington offense.
Damon Hewitt started at quarterback 3 straight years. Now hands over the reins to Brock, younger brother. 3rd down and 5 from the 19. Green, nowhere to run. Good stop by the defense. Kennelly got there, along with Knight.
Well, John Robinson's got to consider whether or not to stop the clock here with just under 3 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Still going to have to put 2 scores on the board if they're going to have a chance here.
Timeout SC with 2:48 to play. 21-10, Washington. SC 21-10 as Washington fans want to know what Arizona State is doing. They are still leading in the 4th quarter against Oregon State. 2:48 left to play. Washington in control. There is the score from Corvallis, 29-14. Arizona State leading, 4th quarter. Here it is 4th down and 5. Out of field goal range, they go over the middle. It's complete. No, drop by Pathon. He had it and dropped it. And Huard said, "Are you kidding me?"
That ball was on the money. Pathon has to catch it. He's had 2 or 3 drops today, uncharacteristic of this Washington offense. A lot of guys have dropped the ball, and that can't be blamed on Huard. Watch him here. He just throws the ball right on the money, and I don't know why Pathon doesn't catch this ball. I think they're going to hit the jugs machine and catch a lot of balls in practice this coming week for the Huskies.
I don't know if it was on the money, but it led him perfectly.
First and 10 from the 19.
1st down and 10 at the 13 for Brad Otten and SC. And folks, they've got to get on their horse. Where's Traveler? Here's Otten. Ball's tipped, still caught. 1st down, SC. Bastianelli makes the catch. And SC in his hurry-up offense.
Gain of 15.
Otten gets him to the line of scrimmage quickly. 2:35 to play.
Jimmy, they've got to throw the ball down the field somehow. They've got to get 2 scores here if they're going to have a chance in this ballgame.
Otten again. Throws deep. Incomplete. Almost caught by Billy Miller. Look at Cal and Arizona. Tied at 42 and in overtime. Surprised that the crowd is thinned out. Over 60,000 in the LA Coliseum today. Maybe 3/4 of that still remaining. Second down and 10. Blitz coming and Otten sacked again. Burton came hard along with Jensen. What an afternoon that Jerry Jensen is having.
Jerry Jensen, his whole Washington defense has done a nice job of rushing the quarterback and especially stopping the run from Southern California. Take a look here as Otten sets back to throw, and Jensen just defeats the running back. And Nigel Burton and Jensen meet there for a for a sack on Otten.
Otten on 3rd down. This is complete to Sermons. Sermons gets to the 36-yard line. Still not enough for the 1st. So that'll bring up 4th down, and you would think the last chance for SC.
Well, at least John Robinson has to have a 1st down here to continue this drive. It's 4th down and 8. They've got to throw the ball past the sticks. You can't throw it short. You've got to give yourself a chance to get the 1st down to continue this drive.
Washington stops them here. The game's a lock. 4th down and 8. Washington shows blitz. And I believe flags down. They're going to call this against Washington. I think Nigel Burton, the Rover, came across the line of scrimmage early.
Some of the Washington players are pointing at Bowen, the right tackle for USC. We'll see what he has to say.
Did he move again?
Prior to snap.
He did.
Ball start on the offense, 5 yards.
Well, that makes a difficult task tougher.
Yeah. Take a look on the left side of the screen. You see Big Bowen there, the big offensive tackle, and they're going to flinch at him. He's going to set back, I believe. Yeah. A little early on the big guy.
So it'll be 4th down. And they need 13. Backside pressure. Otten steps up. Incomplete. A catchable ball. Billy Miller again had it go through his hands. It would have been tough, but it certainly was catchable.
Yeah, it was catchable. Tim, I haven't seen a game like this where I've seen as many drop balls from both teams. Both teams have dropped the ball. Quarterbacks seem to be throwing the ball where they need to be able to make a reception. And Otten steps up, and he's waiting for his receiver to come over. Does a nice job throwing the ball out there. Miller should catch that football. He's going diving at it, but Jim Lambright's got to be happy about his defense today.
Jim Lambright's team about to go to 6-2. 5-1 in the conference, and can you believe the number of drop balls by the SC receivers? John Robinson told us yesterday he can't remember a season where they had so many drops. He thinks it's become a mental thing. Great play by Knight, and he's been all over the field all day. Sammy Knight, his 13th tackle of the game. Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Corey Dillon, of course, from Washington. Corey Dillon with 128 yards, 37 carries, 2 touchdowns, and Sammy Knight of USC with his 13th tackle, 1 pass interception, and that led to a USC touchdown. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. Under a minute to play. Again, flags down and whistles blowing, and they aren't celebrating the end of the game.
Timmy, note about both of these teams. They are, fairly young teams, and I tell you, next year it's going to be a good race in this conference, especially I think between Washington and USC and Arizona State. They're out in front right now.
Delay the game against the offensive team. It's 5 yards. The clock will start on the snap.
Well, for Jim Lambright, it is a sensational win. Played for Washington in the 1960s for head coach Jim Owens. He took over here for Don James when Don James resigned just less than 2 weeks before the beginning of the season. He turned things around. He's performed admirably. I know he took a lot of pressure last year when he didn't beat USC and gave up 21 points in the 4th quarter, and the folks up in the great Northwest were after him a little bit, but he is a great coach, congenial man, terrific teacher. They ought to be proud to have him. Big game straight up the middle goes Jason Harris. He almost broke that. This will be Jim Lambright's first win against USC after going 0-2-1. But again, great teacher, quality guy, good man to be around.
Timmy, he's been involved in over 37% of every Washington Husky football game as a player and a coach, assistant coach, now as a head guy. He's been there for a lot of football games, and if he ever gets out of coaching in Seattle, I'm sure he can get a job as a weatherman because he's been up there a long time.
20 seconds to go. Yesterday, a security guard gave me a cigar as I walked into the LA Coliseum. I immediately went down on the field, ran into Jim Lambright. I asked him, I said, Jim, do you smoke? He says, yeah, I'll take that cigar. That could be my victory cigar tomorrow. So, Jim, enjoy it. One of the biggest cigars I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but I tell you, but for John Robinson here with USC, they do have a lot of young talent. Their offensive line is big, they're strong, inexperienced, and their running game is going to get better. It's only going to get better in time. They didn't have the balance that he'd been talking about coming in here today, but I think overall, the USC Trojans, next year in 1996 is going to be a big year for them. 97, rather.
Is that an NCAA violation, giving that cigar to Jim Lambright? That'll do it, folks. Washington gets a huge win. And the Huskies go to 6-2 overall, 5-1 in the Pac-10. Still hoping for a co-championship, but on their way to at least 2nd place in the Pac-10. SC falls to 3rd. The Trojans go to 5-4, 3-3 in the conference. And so for the Washington Huskies, a terrific game and 2 quality gentlemen right there in the background. John Robinson, Jim Lambright, friends, tremendous coaches, congenial guys, and great teachers of young men.
They really are. A couple guys that really have their head on right. They really deal well with these young men, and they're just great coaches. Look at Jim Lambright. That's a great shot.
Well, for Ty Donahoe down on the sidelines and Gary Reasons up here in the booth, I'm Tim Brandt. Hope you enjoyed it. From the LA Coliseum, it's the Huskies 21, the Trojans of USC 10. So long, everybody.